The Democrats lost the shutdown battle. There's no question about it. And what comes next will define what the Republicans can do, I believe, in the midterm elections coming up later on in 2018. Hey, everybody. I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. Well, the Democrats this past Friday night, as you probably already know, decided they wanted to block a spending bill from going through, and the Democrats effectively shut down the government for 3 days. On Monday, the Democrats decided to, give up, wave the white flag, if you will, because they got an agreement from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to have a vote in February over the DACA/Dreamer situation. Now, why did the Democrats lose on this? Well, it's real simple. The Republicans on Friday night offered the Democrats a short-term spending bill that would fund the government through February 8th, and then later on talk about immigration, DACA, and everything involved in that world. The Democrats said, no way. We're promising our base that we're not going to approve of a short-term spending bill unless we can have a clean DACA bill to go along with it, the Deferred Action on Childhood Arrivals. Entering day 3, the Democrats had enough, and they voted with the Republicans to fund the government through February 8th with the promise from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell that in February, and if there is no vote on a spending bill, but in February at some point, they will hold a vote on immigration. That is a huge win from Republicans, and I have to say I am completely shocked that Republicans were able to roll the Democrats the way they were. In fact, if you look at some of the different articles and different headlines, a lot of liberals very upset with the Democratic Party, with Democratic leadership, for giving up on the issue of a clean DACA bill. I applaud the Democrats for actually coming to their senses because this is what should happen. Go ahead, pass a spending bill, get that out of the way. And in fact, it should have been a longer term spending bill, so we're not just back here in a few weeks. But pass a spending bill, actually pass a budget, that would be the best thing, and then get to immigration and DACA and the Dreamers. I do think there is bipartisan support in the House and in the Senate to come together on the issue of DACA and the Dreamers, but you've got to have more border security funding and funding for possibly a border wall. And let's not forget about an end to chain migration for all of this to work. There's a lot of details, a lot of moving parts to go through. We'll actually talk about it on the Tuesday edition of my show with U.S. Senator John Cornyn, the Senate Majority Whip. He will join me at 8:35. You won't want to miss that on KFYO when we go through all of that. Some of the tweets and some of the things that were said by different Republicans in the Senate. Senator Richard Shelby, a top member of the Senate Appropriations Committee, quote, "Nobody wins in a shutdown, and this time surely the Democrats did not win." Senator Mike Rounds, a Republican out of South Dakota who had been meeting with numerous senators to try to dig themselves out of the mess, was a bit more gentle towards the Democrats. Quote, "They took off, but they didn't know where they were going to land, so we gave them a place where they could land." And Senate Majority Whip John Cornyn said, he said, quote, "Sure, they got a commitment from Senator McConnell, Majority Leader, to take up the immigration bill in February. He was already going to do that anyway." And I think that's part of it. The Democrats' messaging really got lost in all of this, and I think the Republicans showed that they showed a backbone, and a backbone for once that many of us have not seen in a very long time from either the House or the Senate, and that is to stand firm on your principles, stick to your guns, and I think this is actually going to benefit the Republicans in 2018. I think the Republicans are already going to benefit from the tax reform package that was passed, and I think Republican voters should remember that when the Democrats wanted to shut down the government and run over the Republicans and the president with a clean DACA bill, Republican leaders in the House and Senate stuck to their guns and said, no, we're going to pass a short-term spending bill, and then we'll deal with immigration down the road. Now, down the road is when Republicans will really energize their base or really tick off their base. And that comes with this discussion over DACA, immigration, the border wall, and chain migration, and the lottery system. That's all going to be a discussion at another time, but it is something key to remember. Now, do I think that Democrats will actually come to an agreement with Republicans on the issue of immigration? I highly doubt it. As I've said in previous videos, I don't believe that Democrats really care about the Dreamers or about DACA recipients. I think they want to use them to play politics. Republicans may want to as well, but the Democrats really want to use the Dreamers and really want to use DACA recipients to show just how mean the Republicans are. Republicans want to use Dreamers and the DACA recipients in order to get stronger on border security and say, yeah, it's fine. We can let the kids who are brought here illegally, we can show them compassion. We can show them a path towards legalization. We can do all of that. But we want to have a secure border, and we want border wall funding as well. Not just a promise to fund the border wall, but an appropriation to do it, which is two very different things. And let's not also forget that still in this whole thing, the Democrats want to have citizenship for the Dreamers, while Republicans have not completely said whether they want citizenship or not for those kids who were brought over. Now they're adults, but for those who were kids when they were brought into the United States. So still a lot of wrangling to go on. Still a lot of wrangling to go on as far as a spending bill goes, but it's about time the Democrats came to their senses on this issue. And I have to hand it to the Republicans. You were able to get a big win. Democrats, you took a big loss. You shut down the government for absolutely no reason at all. It's something liberals are saying. It's something I'm saying. You shut down the government for absolutely no reason at all. You can't explain it to your base. You have nothing to show for it except for a promise of a debate that was already going to happen in February. Tune in to the Chad HD Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time. News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. Don't forget, U.S. Senator John Cornyn will join me on the Tuesday edition of my show at 8:35 a.m. Central Time. You'll want to tune in for that. Have a great day.